FC build part 2. Got to drop the subframe out of it so we can get the diff out, weld up the diff so he can be a real drifter. Was it exactly how we wanted it to go? I wasn't expecting that to just kind of fall out. However, it'll be way easier putting it back in.
Fall out though.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Almost full drift car. Haven't even tried it out because the diff broke before we could even try it.
Yeah, I haven't even driven it like 10 feet with the angle kit yet.
Okay.
Just sat in it.
This is the most fun I've ever had! It's not quite the color we were expecting. This diff was very, very, very noisy, and they said it was because it was solid mounted, but I just couldn't believe that a solid mount would make it that noisy. And I have a feeling that we may have found the issue.
Oh God. Holy shit, man. It's literally liquid metal.
I like working on cars. I'm not a big fisherman, but I guess I'm going fishing now.
There it is. That's a full tooth of your pinion, right?
I don't know. It's a chunk and oh, hey, where'd you go? Stop moving.
Yeah, you can see it because it has like the gearing cuts. See that? Aren't they all cut like that? Yeah, that's good. That's good for it.
Everything's fine. So since he bought it, he's been complaining about a little bit of a diff whine. What do you have to use while you drive?
It's like I'm double over the ear protection.
So let's just say it's a little loud, and we may have figured out why it's loud.
Dude, like every second one is gone.
They just keep going.
Wow.
So I think we may have found his noise. Fuck, dude.
It's fucked.
So we may have to find a new diff. How do you feel?
Expensive.
Well, it looks like the FC is staying on the hoist tonight. So we finally got the diff out, doing all of our measurements, checking to see what exactly is going on, why the teeth are breaking. Can you see the teeth? Broken teeth. So the pattern is about as far out as an engagement I have ever seen. Very tip of the tooth. So that kind of explains why that shit's happening. So now time to readjust everything, weld her up, and pray to God she's good enough because we can't find new parts. All right, so we got the new pinion put back together. Halfway done putting the diff back in. The gear here is still in good shape. The gear on the other side, on the ring gear, is not in good shape, but it's as good as it's gonna get because we can't find a new one. And replaced bearings, as you can see, these ones, pretty disgusting. So new bearings on the pinion, new crush sleeve because it was over crushed before and that's why it was howling so bad. But yeah, we're about halfway there and this thing will be ready to rock and roll. All right, well, all four corners are burned in. I'm a mechanic, I'm not a welder, but any of my welds have held, so I ain't mad at it. But yeah, Julian, there's no turning back now, I guess. All right, so I was gonna get the ring gear back on and start getting it back in the housing tonight, but the diff is still really hot and I don't want to cool it with like water or anything. Obviously you want to let these ones kind of cool naturally, but because the diff is still hot and the ring gear doesn't really fit on it because it does have to fit around that lip. And like you saw when I pulled it off, it wasn't that hard to pull off, but it definitely does not fit right now and I don't want to put too much force on it, and it's getting late and it's not a big deal. I can finish this tomorrow. So I'm going to let that cool overnight, get this thing back together tomorrow night, and then hopefully, if all goes well, we can still get the subframe back in the car tomorrow evening as well. Yeah, that's the hopeful. It's life of cars. FB underneath an FC. Hell yeah. Diff is back in the subframe. which was surprisingly a pain in the ass to even get that thing in place. And now we get to lower the car back down onto the diff and then maybe go do some skids and see if it works or not. Right?
Yeah, it's about time.
Because then it's what, Thursday?
Thursday.
Saturday we're going to RMDC to do a test and tune day with this thing, so it better fucking work tonight. What was that?
Finally, some fucking progress.
In case anybody's wondering, that was actually a pain, and it wasn't really that bad. It was just really freaking hard to align everything.
Tedious.
Yeah, that's the word. I'm not good with the words. Cool, well, just got to tweak a few things on the rear subframe, make sure everything's centered and aligned properly, get the axles back in, get the drive shaft back in, get the exhaust back in, and then get some fancy little, where are they?
Hot boy wheels.
I don't know what those are for.
I have an idea. What would be good for? Just this part.
What are we gonna do with that half of the
We're
tire?
gonna try and light it on fire.
Oh boy.
Horsepower. Okay.
Cute little 383 stroker and a T56 in this bad boy. There may or may not be a couple little leaks that we got to deal with, but it's a solid build. Definitely had a solid build done. I know this looks familiar, but it is definitely a different time. Because the diff, we went to torque down, I don't know, axle nut or something there. And it was still an open diff. So apparently the welding that we did wasn't quite right. Because the FC diffs are apparently a lot different than any of the other limited slip diffs that we've welded. Or I've welded, I guess. I'll take credit for that one. And yeah, we got to pull it apart again and figure out how to get to the actual spider gears. I might have to disassemble the diff a lot more than I thought. So here's round 2 on Thursday night, and we're going drifting on Saturday, so no big deal ever.